welcome to the Movie Scoops podcast. I'm your host, Sean, and today we don't have a lot of news. Yeah, I know. For a program that used to have news that went for an hour, because of the coronavirus, there isn't very much news. There's just speculation, a lot of controversy, and yeah, there's just a lot of that going on. So to fill in the time, we'll do some stuff in the news segment of our show that we started 2 weeks ago called Bad Times Call for Bad Movies. We'll also be doing a review of another movie that will be later on. But yeah, quickly, I just want to say, hope you're all safe and healthy. I'm going to quickly plug my Instagram. My Instagram is at the Movie Scoops Podcast. You can check out there. I post Instagram stories and post like little snippets of some of the other podcasts that I've done on this channel. And yeah, check it out. Let's get right in. Amber Heard is reportedly going to be fired from Aquaman 2. Now, for those of you who don't know who Amber Heard was, she played Mera in the first Aquaman, and it's actually gone from it being that she could be fired to her could be experiencing jail time, and that's pretty serious. From what you don't know about this situation, Amber Heard and her, I think, ex-husband. Johnny Depp were caught into a court trial where she lied under oath, which is a very serious and punishable offense in the American legal system, and she could be facing jail time because of it. Now, I'm not a person who would judge anyone for what they're doing, but come on, you can't be that stupid to do something like that. Lying under oath, lying under oath. Yeah, she's a very famous actress too. She's going to be like hung out to dry, and it's just not good. It's just not a good situation. There's been lots of speculation to see who would take over for her in the next Aquaman movie. There has been Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones, which is pretty much spot on casting at this point. But who knows? This whole situation could blow over, and yeah, let's keep this news on a roll. Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg in the Justice League movie, the not Zack Snyder Justice League movie, as we'll get into that later, the Joss Whedon Justice League movie, and he said this on Twitter: "We're at the point where we have acknowledged the Snyder Cut, and it does exist. And if you speak to anyone that says it doesn't exist, then they are just trying to troll you. So do not engage with them, and don't fear the trolls." But the reason why he had said this was because the Cyborg movie was meant to come out this year. It was meant to come out like a few days ago, but obviously because of the bad reception that Justice League got, it didn't do very well in the box office, and they pretty much had to can the movie or put it to a later date. But yeah, not a good situation for the Cyborg movie. I really would love to see what they would have done with it in the first place. But let's move on. So I'm gonna quickly run through the Disney movie news schedule thing, because they pushed back a whole heap of movies, So and this is the ones for 2020. Soul comes out the 19th of the 6th. Milan comes out the 24th of the 7th. The Man and Only Ivan. The one and only Ivan, 14th of the 8th. Beatles Get Back, 4th of the 9th. Black Widow, 6th of the 11th. And Raya the Last Dragon, 25th of the 11th. Pretty much what they've done with like a lot of the Marvel movies is that they just pushed them back one movie slot. So Black Widow's taking over the Eternal spot. The Eternal spot's taking over Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi's taking over Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange taking over Thor. Thor's taking over Black Panther. Black Panther taking over Captain Marvel. And Captain Marvel is just been pushed back because it's Captain Marvel. Next year, 2021, 12th of the 2nd is the Eternals. The 7th of the 5th is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Cruella, like Cruella de Vil. I did not realize that when I read this before. Comes out the 28th of the 5th. That's my birthday! Alright. Jungle Cruise has been pushed back an entire year and comes out the 30th of the 7th. Hamilton comes out the 15th of the 10th. And Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness is come out the 5th of the 11th. Not really much else to say about that, except for that makes me sad. I would love to see those movies earlier, but what can you do? 2020. The 16th of the 2nd, Thor Love and Thunder. The 6th of the 5th, Black Panther 2. The 8th of the 7th, Captain Marvel 2. 29th of the 7th, Indiana Jones 5. 16th of 12th, Star Wars. And then 2024, 20th of the 12th, Star Wars. 2026, 18th of the 12th, Star Wars. And yeah. Lots of Star Wars property. Lots and lots of Star Wars. I'm going to move on to Fox properties because, other properties, Other properties that are making movies. In 2020, Empty Man comes out 7th of the 8th. The King's Man comes out the 18th of the 9th. The Death on the Nile comes out 9th of the 10th. The French Dispatch comes out 16th of the 10th, which is made by Searchlight Pictures, which used to be Fox, but is now owned by Disney, so that's technically a Disney movie. Everybody Talking About Jamie comes out the 23rd of the 10th. Deep Water comes out 13th of the 11th. Free Guy comes out 11th of the 12th. West Side Story comes out 18th of the 12th. Not much else to say about that. The only movie that I'm really keen for... I'm keen for two movies there. I'm keen for The Kingsman and Free Guy. I love the Kingsman movies. They are amazing. And Free Guy just seems like such a funny movie. 2021. The Last Duel comes out the 8th of the 1st. Ron's Gone Wrong comes out the 26th of the 2nd. Bob's Burgers movie. Tongue twister. The Bob's Burgers movie comes out the 4th of the 9th. Avatar 2 comes out the 12th. 17th of the 12th. Now, Avatar came out in 2009. This was 11 years ago. They've planned 4 sequels. Let's move on. 2022. Neomona comes out 14th of the 1st. 2023. Avatar 3 comes out the 22nd of the 12th. Avatar 4 comes out 2025 on the 19th of the 12th. 2027. Avatar 5 comes out the 17th of the 12th. And then 20th Century Fox is meant to release The Woman in the Window, which hasn't been given a new date, and New Mutants, which hasn't been given a new date. Searchlight is meant to release The Personal History of David Copperfield, which hasn't been revealed, and Antlers, which hasn't been revealed. So in total, there is 19 movies coming out by 20th Century Fox, 6 in 2021, 7 in 2022, and 6 in 2023. Disney Live Action have 12 in total, 2 in 2021, 4 in 2022, and 6 in 2023. Marvel has a total of 5, 1 in 2022, 4 in 2023. Pixar has 4 in total, 1 in 2021, 2 in 2022, 1 in 2023, and then Walt Disney Animated Studios has 3 in total, 1 in 2021, 1 in 2022, and 1 in 2023. Drop the mic. My throat is so sore after speaking that for so long. Anyway, let's move on. There was a watch party this week of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie with none other than the director James Gunn, where James Gunn revealed some cool stuff within the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which I'm going to reveal and talk about with you. The first one is that when making the infamous Infinity Stones scene where it showed the history of the Infinity Stones, I'm just gonna read the quote to you from Twitter. The only thing Marvel asked me to include was a Thanos cameo, and said maybe I could create an origin for the Infinity Stones. Other than that, they were up for whatever and weren't set on any one way to handle the characters. The next thing he said is, I'll just say Rocket is a big part of what's happening in the future, and a lot of stuff like the scars we're about to see on his back sets up what I've been planning for Rocket all along. So he's giving us a little teaser for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. He also said something really funny here, which was Rocket wins the first Guardian versus Guardian battle, and it was when he tased Peter Quill in the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy. He then said, he shot the opening scene with young Peter and his family in a I have no idea how to pronounce that lens. Sorry. Anamorphic lenses, but not for the rest of the film. To me, I thought a lot of the beginning of Wizard of Oz. And then throughout Guardians of the Galaxy, there was in the side of the movie where Quill's getting the Infinity Stone, he plays a hologram, and James Gunn wrote, "That was my dog, Dr. Wesley Von Spheres, who passed away a month ago, with the little girl ghost." And then a fan in the watch party tweeted James Gunn and said, "I always wondered if they filmed the zero gravity scene in Guardians of the Galaxy underwater or something. The hair flows and possible bubbles on the face made me think so. Cool effect regardless." And James Gunn said, "We did. We shot them underwater. It was the biggest mistake. Never again." Let's keep going. Another fan tweeted him and said, when we shot the film, this isn't a fan. This is a guy who worked on the movie with James Gunn. He said, when we shot the film, the stone was red, but we had to turn it to purple late in post. James Gunn said, I forgot about this. It's true. I think it's because halfway through Marvel decided the thing in Thor: The Dark World was the Power Stone. Even though it wasn't the Power Stone, it was the Reality Stone. But James Gunn got it wrong here. As well as other things that became Power Stones. But I like the purple way more. James Gunn also said a bunch of jackasses standing in a circle was completely improv by Bradley Cooper. That's interesting. And then James Gunn said, in the first cut of the Nova Corps scene against Ronan Shiv, they seemed too hopeless against Ronan. So they added in this interlocking Nova ship thing, which we shot as an additional photography. He also said, my favorite moment in the movie, and I cry every time I see it, it's probably the first time Rocket has ever experienced physical tenderness in his life. The way he sinks into and accepts it kills me and makes me love Drax. Anyway, check out the stream. Check out that stream. It's a really fun experience. Let's move on. Taika Waititi opens up about Thor: Love and Thunder today. Let's go through the list of things that he announced. Silver Surfer will not appear in the film. Why? Okay. Unsure if Beta Bill will show up. Still won't say what character Christian Bale is playing. Or if Loki is returning. Korg is returning in a large capacity. Undecided on Fat Thor, but feels like it's been done. Star Sharks might be featured, and revealed Meek has always been a female character. Meek has been a female character? What the heck? That's so interesting. Director Matt Reeves, who is doing the new Batman movie, revealed today that, or revealed the other day, that the Batman movie takes place in present day. Now that's interesting. I didn't think they were going to do that. Wait. Oh, sorry. I just saw this thing and I just wanted to read it out right now. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Rocket Raccoon using the F word a lot. What is this? This is James Gunn, sorry. He said, I do have footage of Rocket flying away with Baby Groot after he said, welcome to the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy. Only he didn't say freaking, and when he flies away, he turned around to Baby Groot and irritated and says, we're going to have a serious talk about your language, and then says, F this, F that, everything, F, all the time. This footage does exist too. We even animated it in post. I don't know what I was doing, but that just seems so funny. James Gunn announced that Michael Rooker will return in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 as Yondu. Woohoo! Yes. Let's move on. Director Matt Reeves says that the Batman movie was only 25% done with filming before it got shut down due to the coronavirus. Now, this whole situation just makes me sad. It just makes me sad. I'm really excited for this movie, and it just keeps getting pushed back. It makes me really sad in this situation, and yeah. Stay safe out there. We need to get this thing over and done with so that we can, move on with our lives, get the movies out there, so I can actually do this for a living. Alright. This week it was the 25th anniversary of the Bad Boys movie and the Goofy movie. Not really much to say there. Happy anniversary. Thanks for all the laughs that you gave. Now, I've held it off for too long. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Ezra Miller. Soak it in. Ezra Miller. Who's Ezra Miller? Yeah, is that what you're asking? Who's Ezra Miller? He played the Flash in the Justice League movie, and he was set for a solo film with a solo film for the Flash that was going to be directed by Andy Muschietti, who did the It trilogy. I mean, not trilogy, sequel movies. What do you call a movie that only has one sequel? A double trilogy. I don't know. But, and the whole movie was going to be based on the story Flashpoint, which I think I've explained it on this show before, but if you don't know, and if you knew, I'm going to explain it really quickly and really briefly. The whole story is that the Flash is so fast that he can run through time and goes back in time and stops a significant point in his life from happening, which was his mother's death. And when doing that, he came back to the future and everything had changed. It's the butterfly effect. Butterfly effect. Gosh, Sean. Which basically means that when you go back in time and you change something, it changes the future. Your future becomes your past, and your past becomes your future. That's what happens, and it's really weird. So, like in the comic book and in the animated movie, Wonder Woman, Aquaman are at war. Batman, who is Bruce Wayne, his parents didn't die. He got shot, and his mother became the Joker, and his dad became Batman. Superman landed in the middle of Metropolis and got put into Area 51, never experienced the sun. Shazam's not one person, he's 6 different kids. Pretty much a lot of the Flash's villains are all superheroes now. It's just a whole bad and weird situation. And through the fight with Aquaman and Wonder Woman, they take over the entirety of Europe. And what this was going to do was this was going to set up the whole new of the DCAU. Pretty much addressing the fact that it's unlikely Ben Affleck will return in the role as Batman. So this is a way to quote-unquote retcon, but actually it makes sense if you're a fan of the comic and the fan of the movie, that they are retconning and getting rid of that Batman. But that doesn't look like it's going to happen anymore. And if you don't know what it is, pretty much Ezra Miller was put into a lot of controversy this past week. Yeah, this past week, because he choked a female fan in a bar in Iceland, which the video kind of looked fake when I started looking at it, but it just keeps coming up that I'm just really confused, because basically what the video was is that Ezra Miller was like with this female fan, and then he just put his hands around her neck and like threw her to the ground, and it was really quite graphic what had happened. But like it was just a really confusing thing. It looked like a shoot. For those of you who don't know what a shoot is like something that not a shoot, sorry, a work. A work being like it was like something that was happening to make controversy, to make something make something like this happen, because it didn't seem like realistic in the slightest. But apparently it was, and so Warner Brothers are actually looking to fire him for doing this, and yeah, that makes me really sad, because I think I liked him in the Crisis Infinite Earths. He showed up in a little cameo there. It was really quite a good experience with him there. I loved him in Justice League. I thought he was a really good comic relief. But just a sad moment. I mean, like, why would that happen? Like, why do bad things happen? But if he does get fired, at least it gives Warner Brothers an excuse to cancel the movie, because that Warner Brothers just look for every excuse to cancel that kind of movie. Let's move on. This is what actually happened today. Taika Waititi pretty much just annoyed fans before, because he went onto an Instagram live stream and showed a fake script that he had made where Tony Stark comes to life. And I'll read out the script to you. It says the smoke clears, and standing before him and Thor says Tony, and Tony is Tony Stark. Tony says, "What's up?" And then Thor says, "You're back." And Tony says, I'm in the I'm in the sack, baby." And gives Thor a hug. Thor says, "But how? I saw you die." And Tony says, "Silence. Also, Thanos is back." Thor, "Mother frigger. No, so we're assembling again?" Tony, again, it's go time. Tony pushes a button, and in his Stark watch with suit up again, Iron Man is back, and only this time covered in details, all the flags of every nation. Everyone who died is coming back, and this time we're avenging even more than ever. From now on, we'll be known as the Avengers. Oh, Taika Waititi, you cheeky bastard, you cheeky bugger. Yeah, very funny. A lot of people went crazy about it. Let's move on. The Eternals. Let's get on to some Eternals news. Black Knight will appear in his comic book accurate costume, minor VFX from the comics in the upcoming Eternals movie. That makes me excited. I love the Black Knight suit. Very, very nice, very cool. Let's move on. So we're gonna get into bad times call for bad movies. Bad times call for bad movies. That's what I like to call some really bad intro. But we're going to keep this going. So, for bad times, calls for bad movies, we are looking at the DCEU. just because of the whole Ezra Miller situation and the Snyder Cut, obviously, because I am the biggest fan and really just want the Snyder Cut to just be released. Just release it. Warner Brothers, just release it. It's not that hard. Just release it. Just release it. Alright, we're going to go into this. So we're going to start off with Man of Steel. Man of Steel. Jeez. What a movie. What a movie. Zack Snyder's directing debut in the DCEU. Actually, it was a really, really good movie. I thought it was like... It definitely was a more serious tone than anything we had seen prior to this in the DC movies, especially Superman. I noticed throughout it that like Henry Cavill had such a hairy chest, and like his chest hairs were coming out the top of his suit, and it made me laugh, made me chuckle a little bit. But I liked the story of Zod. Zod wasn't like manipulative. Like you think when you see like a leader like Zod, you would think that he's like very manipulative, and he's like trying to get Cal onto his side, and he's like, you're on it. But no, he's like a military leader. He's very stern, very strong, doesn't care what anyone else thinks but him, and cares so much about his people. So when it came to the point where Cal came up and met with him on top of the in his ship, Cal he was just like, you're either with us or against us, and if you're against us, we'll kill you. And Cal's like, I'm against you. And Zod's like, well, we're gonna have to kill you, and we're gonna have to destroy your Earth. And it's like this is like really good storytelling, because it's not like every other superhero movie ever. He's not like, Cal, we're your family. We're not gonna do anything to your Earth. We're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna like breed in your planet, and we're gonna make more people. That's the plot of the movie. He has like a breeding machine that makes more humans. I mean, no, humans, Kryptonians. But yeah. I really liked the movie. I loved the Kryptonians, because that's the whole point of the Kryptonians in the movie, was that they are like they're exactly the same as Superman. They have the Kryptonian powers. They're that strong and they're that powerful that they can fight Superman at like as he would fight them. And it's really, really interesting to see Superman like fight these people who are like on the same match as him, because we haven't seen Superman fight anyone that wasn't that was like easy, that he could just like punch up and he's like, whoa, that's it, like Lex Luthor. But they decided to go on this creative approach, and I liked it. Shows Superman has the strength to be able to do what he is doing in society. But let's move to that controversial ending where Superman breaks Zod's neck. Now, this was... I agree with Zack Snyder in this. I'm being the most unbiased person in this. Even though I am biased because I love his work, I'm trying to be not biased when I watch this movie. There was no way that Zod could... that anything could happen without Zod being killed. Nothing at all. I know the whole thing is like, you could put him in the Phantom Zone. Put him in the Phantom Zone. They'll do it like the original. Just put him in that little cube that goes into space and just flies there for a while. No. The Phantom Zone just didn't seem right. Like, all of his other people, like all the other Kryptonians were killed with that plane going into that World Eater. World, I don't know what it was called. But Zod's like, you're either going to have to kill me, or I'm going to kill you. That's the whole situation. It was a fight to the death situation, and Cal did the right thing. He fought, he won, and you can see at the end, he after he killed him, after he snapped his neck, he was in so much displeasure that he couldn't say anything. He just screamed. He screamed and cried and went into Lois's arms. Good movie. Definitely definitely, if you have 2 hours on your hands, go and check it out. Now, Batman vs Superman. When I watched this movie, I watched the Ultimate Edition, which I think is the better of the original edition. Pretty much what the Ultimate Edition is that it's the director's cut of the original movie. Now, this is a movie that I cannot be biased with because I loved it from the first time I saw it. When I saw it, it was in 2016, and I was in grade 9. I was still in school, and I made a pillowcase of this for this movie. I was just so excited for this movie, and I loved it because Batman was my favorite superhero, and Superman was like such a big character, and I just wanted to see them fight. As they announced that Batman versus Superman, I was like, oh my goodness gracious me! Oh my goodness, you have just made all my dreams come true. I went to go saw it. It was everything I ever wanted. See, the people who complain about Batman vs Superman are the people who don't know the comics and don't know like stuff about the character. Like the whole Martha situation. Like that was brilliant. Like brilliant the way that it works. Like Batman is the most like has the most PTSD out of everyone in like ever in the in a comic character. Like his parents got murdered in front of him. Like the Thomas and Martha are two names that will haunt him for the rest of his life because those were his parents' names. And if someone is sitting there when you have a kryptonite spear against their face where you're about to kill them and says, find and save Martha. Not, hey, not find and save my mother. She's in trouble. He specifically said Martha. Martha. Like, because Martha is, Bruce Wayne's mother's name. And it immediately appealed to him. And he's like, why did you say that name? Why did you say Martha's name? Why did you do that? And it's that tense situation that made me so invested in this scene because Superman is obviously talking about his mother, but Batman is just thinking like, why are you talking about my mother? My mother is dead. Why are you trying to get me to... Why are you doing this? Why are you saying this? And then Lois Lane comes over and she's like, it's his mother's name! It's his mother's name! And you're like, oh my god. And then... Lois Lane is the dumbest person in this entire movie. She goes to a terrorist organization in the first 2 minutes of the movie and, like, gets caught. What an idiot. Then, the most annoying part is that she goes, hey, I'm going to take the spear, this spear that he's clearly spent time making. I'm going to throw it into this, like, puddle. This puddle's going to go all the way down to, like, the bottom of, bottom of somewhere. And no one will ever find it again. Oh crap! We need it. That's too bad. Let's move on to. We're gonna talk about the characters in this movie. So Bruce Wayne, I'm glad that they didn't need to go through like how he became Batman and just went straight off. Oh, he's been Batman for 10, 15 years. Jason Todd is dead, and he's a really grumpy and old man, like and whatnot. But when people say, "Oh, I don't like this movie because Batman kills people, he shoots them, he stabs them, and whatnot," and I'm like, you got to keep in mind that, like, in the context of this movie, he's been doing this for 15 years, and the Joker murdered his pretty much a son to him, murdered his son. He's lost all hope in humanity. And, like, he's at the point where he's just like, I'm just going to have to kill these guys because they're not going to stop. And that's what he does in this movie, which I think is a great call. But he doesn't go overly kill. He doesn't get, like, machine guns and just mow down, like, hundreds of thugs. He uses a gun personally in his hands in the Nightmare sequence, which I love. But he uses a gun to shoot. He uses the guns in his car to shoot people. And when he does shoot people, he shot them in the shoulder or in the gas canister thing. But Bruce Wayne, loved him. Alfred, loved him. Let's move on to Superman. Now, I loved the idea of what this movie represented. It represented Superman and people in a distrustful society where they didn't trust him in the slightest with like what he is, because he's pretty much a god. Well, he is pretty much a god to them. Like they can never reach the power of what he is, and so they can only look up to him. And Superman is in the movie what looks like he's abusing his power, like he's like pulling the Titanic out of the water, and he's like saving hundreds of people at a time, and like it's a real situation that like that really worked in the way that it intended to. And I loved him in this movie because like all he wanted to do was just help. That's all he wanted to do. He just wanted to help the people, but it just didn't work. Wonder Woman. Let's move on to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, this was the best performance by any actress who played Wonder Woman ever in the movie. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Like, she played Diana to... Gal Gadot is just amazing. She played Princess Diana to the best ability. Absolutely amazing. Oh, let's move on. Lois Lane. I already said this before, Lois Lane was stupid. We're going to move on. I think that... Oh, Lex Luthor. How could I forget Lex? Lex Luthor is brilliant. Jesse Eisenberg is brilliant. Those of you who say Jesse Eisenberg isn't good and he was a terrible Lex Luthor are all idiots, honestly. Because Jesse Eisenberg is just such a... He played the character... He was tailor-made to play Lex Luthor. Snarky, cocky, arrogant, self-obsessed, rich, annoying character. He played him like to perfection. Like, you never knew what he was thinking and what he was going to do and what he was going to do next, because he played the character that well, and you just had to like be like, what the heck? He's brilliant. I loved it. I loved his plan, bringing back General Zod in a deformation form, making him Doomsday, which by the way is a great villain in this movie, like a great final boss. But the ending was kind of like, come on. But yeah. Let's move on to Justice League. I only did the three. Next week we'll see if we can do more. We'll do a lot about this. Next week for this movie series, for this Bad Times, Bad Movies, we will do Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, and Birds of Prey. Oh, and Aquaman. Four movies for you. Oh, and Shazam. We're gonna have a lot of movies for you next week. But let's move on to Justice League. Justice League is the world's biggest letdown in any capacity. If you've ever seen Justice League, or if you haven't, don't see it until the Snyder Cut comes out. Trust me, it is awful. It has conflicting tones, terrible script writing, characters that sometimes made sense and sometimes didn't. Characters that seemed like they were shoehorned in. Unfinished CGI. Looking at you, Superman's lip. It did have some good moments, but it had more bad moments than good moments, and yeah. Not really much else to say about this except for it makes me sad that they made this movie and it was bad. It was bad. I think there's not really much else to say about that. I'm gonna leave you guys with this. I hope you guys stay safe. Check out my Instagram. I've been Sean, and this is the Movie Scoops podcast. I know I'm ending this kind of quickly after going into the Justice League, but the Justice League movie is just that bad that like it actually pains me to be able to explain it. So thank you guys. Check out next week's episode. Bye.
Summer holidays mean a great deal this year, like this one. Sign up to access every story of the Courier Mail online, plus the option to get your weekend papers delivered. Just $5 per month for the first 3 months. Conditions apply. Search the Courier Mail offer today.